Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a little Easter dress that I'm making for Ember, and I'm going to have the pattern up on the blog. This is the first time that I've featured a pattern or even made a pattern, but some of you guys have requested it. So I've got my material here, and I've got 4 pieces, folded together, and I've got my pattern all laid out and everything ready to cut. You will need to make sure that the main dress pattern is on the fold of your material. And if you want your dress to be completely lined, you'll have to do this step twice for the dress. The straps will be, will be completely lined because of the way that they're laid out. So I'm going to cut this out with my rotary cutter. I'm not leaving very much seam allowance because I'm using a bigger pattern for Ember than what I needed. And I don't know if the patterns are going to be exactly right on sizing. You guys are just going to have to play around with it a little bit since this is the first time I've ever made them. I can see I should have changed my rotary cutter blade before I started this. Okay. And on these patterns that you print out, you're going to be able to print them on regular printer paper because that's what I made the patterns for. And each pattern piece I traced on its own. I drew it on its own page. And I would recommend, if this is a pattern that you want to make over and over and over again, I mean, you'll always have the file once you download it, so you can do that. But sometimes what I do is I take patterns that I really like and use things from the remnant bin to trace them out on, like a heavy twill or something like that, and that way I've got it. Okay, so I've got both my pieces cut out. I'll unpin. Okay. And here's the dress, and then here are my straps. Well, if I can get it unpinned from here. I hope you guys can see this. I'm kind of using my camera bag as a makeshift okay, I'm kind of lay this out so you guys can see how it will line up. Okay, so it'll be kind of like that. Oh goodness, there's the phone. Let me sew this together and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, you can see that my collar lining and armhole lining and everything, I've pinned that to the front and back pieces of the dress, and I've also pinned the straps in place so that when I sew around here, then I can take this material and flip it and pull the straps out right, and then I will iron everything down. So that's what I'm up to next. You can choose whether or not to line the upper portion. I just find that it's easier to get the armholes and your top part, really nice when you do this. And all I did for the lining part was I took the pattern piece and I basically just laid out, like this much of it all the way across and cut it out again. So I've got that all pinned in place, and I'm going to sew it together, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, we're almost on the home stretch on this dress. I've turned the lining and the fabric inside out, and I've ironed everything down. So you see we've got nice, pretty crisp seams. I've pinned the 2 parts of the dress together, right sides together, so the lining is facing out on both sides. And I have pinned everything in place, and so now I'm going to sew down these 2 seams, and I'll try it on Ember to make sure that we've got a good fit, and then I will show you guys what I'm going to do on the bottom here. Okay guys, so I've decided to give this dress a ruffle bottom. So I'm taking the same material that I used for the dress and still got the same exact fold, so I've got 4 layers of material through here. I'm going to measure out a 3-inch swatch and cut along that with my rotary cutter. I'll move the excess fabric out of the way now. I'm going to open this fabric up and I'm going to iron it along one side. Let's see, probably about a 1/4 inch. I'm going to iron it once and then I'm going to turn it up and iron it again. And when I'm done with that, then I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay guys, so I've ironed the hem down. I'm going to take and put a decorative stitch along my hem line. And as you can see, this is going to be a good 7 or 8 inches larger than the skirt bottom. And so once I sew along my hem lines, then I'm going to take the strip and put it right sides together and sew down it. I'll align it with one of these edge seams and then I'll start pleating all the way around. And so when I get that finished, then I'll show you what it looks like.